So we're talking to Kobe Calloway of Calloway Visuals, who,
Hello.
who is a drone operator among many other hats, I'm sure. We just got done with DoryCon 2025, which I think we should talk about, but I don't know if, I don't think we should talk about that first. I think we need to talk about like how you actually got started in all of this. Like
Oh,
how did you end up being my bestie at the track? Like let's start from
oh my
there.
goodness. I don't even remember the first time we met. I'm sure it was at a Drift Nirvana event.
Yeah, definitely. It was Summit Point. But I'm talking about like what actually got you to where you are right now with like the drone stuff, because I'm sure you were into
Oh
other
my
things before you
goodness.
landed in drifting.
That is a story that you don't even know what you opened up. All right. So, from probably single digit age, I raced radio control cars. So, I
Okay.
raced them all over the East Coast and went kind of out west. Actually, went to California for some races. Um, After college, I actually owned a hobby shop for 4 or 5 years,
Look at
and
you.
we ran races and everything. When I had the shop, I learned how to fly helicopters and
Okay.
planes and everything else. And that was a thing up until my shop. We closed the shop, and then for my 40th birthday, yeah, my 40th birthday, I bought myself a camera drone because I was
Okay.
like, I'm ready to get back into RC stuff. So that was like a 12-year hiatus. Got myself a camera drone, just started flying around doing that. And then I discovered FPV like 2 years later, or even actually, it was the next year. And then I
Okay.
started doing FPV drones and I'm flying around just having fun. And then my friend Vay, he's Noiseless Productions, he was shooting for
I love Bay.
the motorcycles. And I
Well,
just
you used to
asked him one day, I was
ride
like,
too,
hey,
right?
oh yeah, yeah. I rode on track for about 15 years.
Okay.
And then I did and Bay actually used to take our pictures, which was funny. He used to come to our bike nights and take our pictures on track and everything, which is hilarious. But I just hit him up one day. I was like, "Hey, how hard would it be to get in?" Because I saw him shoot for Drift Nirvana, and I was like, "Hey, how hard do you
Hmm.
think it would be for me to get into that?" He was like, "Put in the app, see if they take you in. Go for it. I'll put a word in for you." And they let me in, and that's how I got in. And but now it's been 2.5 years that I've been
So
chasing drift cars.
you would have started at Summit Point about the same time I would have started at Summit Point then, because I feel like
Right.
I'm at the 2 year mark now,
Yeah, I
almost at the 2 year
started
mark.
whatever their first event was in 23.
I'd have to go
23,
back because
something
Dawn
like that.
doesn't have the historical timeline brain. Like I'd actually have to like go back and look. But I think I'm pushing on the 2 year mark, somewhere in the 2 year mark as well.
Okay.
So for people who don't know, because I know, but I know not everybody knows, talk about the fact that Summit Point has a requirement that not every other track does, which is the 107 certification. Can you tell people what that is?
Yeah, so because Summit Point does so much work with the Department of Defense and the government in general, they follow every rule to the T. So that requires having the FAA Part 107 certification, which basically tests your knowledge on airspace and weather patterns and drone safety, in terms of people being around and how high you can go and where you can fly and all that kind of stuff. So you have to have that certification in order to, and insurance, and you have to have
Okay.
insurance to fly with places like MIR, Summit Point, any of the official tracks, like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
no, I
have
got
all
you.
kind of events. Yeah, so
What about
that's not too bad.
have you ever shot at Dominion?
I will in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. What are you shooting there?
Um, their Halloween thing,
Oh,
uh,
I'll see you there then.
the bash, yeah, on the Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday. I'm gonna come Saturday and then I'm gonna hit Summit Point on Sunday. I decided that today. I talked to several people because people have been asking me if I was going to it. I'm like I feel obligated to go to Summit Point because I've signed up for Summit Point, and then I'm like, I can split my time. And several of the drivers are actually doing that as well too. They're doing the same thing. They're gonna do
Yeah,
Dominion on
doing that.
Saturday and then Summit on Sunday.
Well, I actually triple booked myself for that weekend, so I'm probably not going to make it to Frame of Fright because
Okay,
there's another event on Sunday.
look at you being popular.
No, that was just me being not paying attention to my calendar.
At least
Hundred
you
percent an
own it.
accident.
I am gonna circle back to the Part 107 though, because I have looked at the Part 107. I have done some of the drone stuff. I am not gonna say I'm good at it. I think I have just decided that I'm just going to be envious of all of you guys who do it really well, and I'm just going to let you guys have it. And that's going to be the one camera I don't need. Um, because
It's not
I
that
look,
hard. Like literally, all I did, I watched a YouTube video, and I think I might have printed out whatever official documentation they
but
have and flew through it
you
and got
have
like a
met
90
me.
something.
I'm gonna want to be doing like Mike and Sam shit where like, there's acrobatic stuff and
Oh, you
down
talking about like the
low.
actual flying part?
That
Yeah.
that's what I that's where it is for me. Now the 107, when I looked at it, looked really fucking intimidating for my ADHD brain. And I went, there's no way I'm retaining all of that. And I'm not gonna spend the money, and that's just gonna be okay. So what did you actually think about the 107? Because it looks really intimidating on the surface.
Honestly, I'd say 75 to 80% of it has zero impact on what you do with a drone. It's almost like it's for an actual pilot. Like the
I'm
only parts that are
I'm
really drone specific.
I'm
Go ahead.
giggling because somebody said, "A, the Powder Coats Express shirt." I said the same thing.
Hey,
I said
got a
the
rep.
same
Got a
thing.
rep. You know,
Anyway,
it's
so 107.
it
Sorry,
doesn't
I was rude.
most of it doesn't have it. Most of it, it's almost like it was written, they didn't write it for drone pilots. It seems like it's part of a pilot certification program, like
Right.
an actual pilot certification
Mm-hmm.
program, and then they just
Yeah.
sprinkled in a little drone stuff, basically like, about flying around people and obtaining permits to do certain events and where you can fly and that kind of stuff. But the other 80% of it is like weather patterns and, I mean, airspace you need to know, because you need to know where you can fly and where you can't. But it's really like it's for a pilot. So I'm
Right.
bull, but if you get through it, it's worth it. I mean, it's really not that hard. Most of it, you could probably pass a test just using common sense for most of it.
Okay.
There are some technical parts where you just have to know the answer, but you could probably pass a test just with common sense.
Okay.
If you fly
All
a drone,
right.
if you've already been flying a drone, you probably could pass it with common sense.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna let you guys keep it.
It's
Because
like, should
I
you
have.
fly your drone in? Should you fly your drone into somebody's eyeball? Maybe.
Dawn's gonna be like, accidentally. Because that's probably what's
I
gonna
got insurance
happen.
for a reason. Yes.
Because I don't know. I looked at it and I started trying to look at some of the literature and stuff on it, and I don't know. I spaced out on it. I have such a short attention span that I just own the fact that I have this short attention span. But I see all the cool stuff sometimes.
I probably should also say that I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to the drone stuff. So when I get into something, I kind of follow it very closely. So I say common sense will help you pass a test, but that's probably because
Right.
I always dig deep into shit. So I know ahead of time. I know a lot about whatever I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So for me, it's common sense, but for the average person, it might not be common sense. So
Yeah, well, and I think that's one of the things that I appreciate about a lot of the people in the creative community is there are some people, like, they're my favorite people just because of how passionate they are about the thing that they're into. Like, they just make my heart happy. And I have several friends that will rattle off the technical stuff and they sound so excited about it. And I'm looking at them going, uh-huh. Sure. Okay. And then somebody will ask me, how'd you shoot that? I'm like, fuck if I know. And then I have to go back. I have to go back and I don't know. And everybody questions how I get anything that I get because I don't know the answer. I did things and there was an outcome. That's the story of my life. So
wing it. Yeah, because I'll ask, like, I used to carry my camera around with the thought that I was going to take pictures as well as do drone stuff. And you can always tell the different types of photographer because some photographers, you'd be like, hey, what do you do for them? You're like, I don't know. I just kind of turn shit and get a good result. And other people were like, this f-stop with this ISO, with
I
this
love
white
it.
balance. And then it's like, they
love
got
it.
the full settings for you. So you can tell the two different types of people.
I love it because there are definitely times where I understand the basics of everything that I do, right? Like there are basic technical things, like I understand that part. But there are certain things that, like, if they get too technical, like, that's too many steps. I don't want to do that. And then there's other things where I'm like, no, you can't do it that way. And then I'm like, what's the difference? Like, I don't understand why that matters so much to me, but the other thing didn't. And then there
Everybody
are
has their
definite
hierarchy they follow.
I guess so, because there's some people that when they really start talking about what they do, like I could just sit there and listen to them because their joy is what makes me so happy. Like their excitement about the thing is, uh, what's his name? I'm probably gonna butcher his last name, but John Saccone. He does a lot with like film, whether that's video, whether it's photo, whatever it is. And when he starts talking about it, you're just like, God, I wish I knew this. You know what I mean? Because like he really knows what he's talking about, and then he's so excited about it, and then he wants to go find the thing for you, and then you're like, this, I don't know what to do with any of this, but thank you. You know, and just, I love it. But I don't know what to do with any of it.
That was my world when I started video editing, because the guys
Oh,
that really
I
know what they're
believe it.
doing,
I
holy
believe it.
cow! Like, yeah,
I
if you do
believe
this
it.
and keyframe this and do, I'm just like, can I get an
There's some of you
ABC for
guys
this
that
one thing?
I'm so jealous of, like when I see like some of the output. And Mike is one of them. I wish he edited a little bit more. Like I wish there were some things he would cut out from time to time. But when I see like how crisp his footage is, I'm like, fucking hate you. And I don't, because I love him, but I'm like, I fucking hate you because you make this shit look easy. And I know it's not easy because I've tried to do it and it's not fucking easy.
Oh yeah, I've said the same thing to him. I was like, man, you just got to put your stuff out there, and
Yeah,
the
well,
people will come.
he's one of our friends, him and Sam. I'm like, so hey, just send me a folder link. You've done that for me a couple of times. I'm just like,
Yeah.
just send it to me. It's fine.
Oh
Because
yeah,
then,
I'll do that for people I trust to do
you
something
know,
good with. Yeah,
well,
you
but
always come
that's
give good results.
exactly it though. Is it's like all of us have a day job, right?
Mhm.
So that day job is usually the thing that pays the bills, and then like the media stuff's like a side hustle. And then if you're lucky, it becomes a little bit more than a side hustle, right?
Yeah.
So even for me, I can't always get through like every single thing that I shot. Like if I told you how much information I had from DoryCon, like it's so much footage, it's ridiculous. That's why I did the highlight reel today. I was like, I can't do anything with all of this. There's just not enough time in a day or a week to do it. I will get out the simple shit and then we'll see what happens after that.
Well, for the last two DODs, I took Monday and Tuesday off
I don't blame you.
afterwards just to go through
I don't blame.
everything, because
I don't
otherwise it
blame
would
you.
be weeks before I got around anything.
I mean, I that's so absolutely fair. It makes sense. I know that like, after DoryCon, I took that Monday. I technically could have worked doing some other stuff, but I was just like, I guess I'm editing today. And I had started editing before on Saturday and Sunday. I was just like, what's the fastest thing that I can get out to kind of like keep this
Mhm.
going, keep this train going? What did Bryant Bruce said? I used to watch Levi and our buddy edit music videos and commercials and just want to punch them. They are too damn bad. Yeah, because it's like when they get good at it, it's like it's second nature. Like there's some things that definitely get easier over time. But like that highlight thing that I put together, that probably took me 2 hours today because I had to sift through footage to be able to like tuck 3 seconds of each individual clip. And I
Mhm.
had hours worth of footage. And it just like sometimes I'm like, why do I hate myself? I hate myself. That's really the problem here, because I did it to myself.
Well, I was telling Sarah the other day, I was like, and I actually was sitting here with me, and I was just showing her the process to make like I think that day I made like a 30-second reel. It
Hmm.
took me an hour
Hmm.
to make that 30-second
Yeah.
reel. By the time I went through my footage, found what I wanted to use,
Yep.
did all the things processing to it and edited it up, and then got it to my phone to put on Instagram and pick a song and post it. That took an hour for a 30
Yeah, I
second reel.
believe it. I believe
Yeah.
it. It took me 2 hours to do a 30-second reel. That's all the highlight
Yeah.
reel is 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think if you've ever done it, you fully understand the level of time that goes into it. Because I hear people complain sometimes about like the cost of media, or they don't want to pay for it, and everybody has access, so they can do what they want, and there's templates, and sure, yeah,
Mhm.
then do it,
Yeah.
have fun. You spend the time. I'm good. But it definitely, and for you guys, maybe that's a good thing to talk about. I, Brew,
Brian.
I don't know what's happening there, but Not touching that one. Not touching that one.
So, sounds like he wants to touch it. Yeah,
Oh my
I know what he's
god.
saying. The song from one of the reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so let's talk about that because I think that's actually something to discuss. Part of what you said just in your last statement. Over time, as media, we all like start to work out like a process, because you learn the hard way that some things take fucking forever to get there, and then you realize, okay, well maybe if I change this step and I change this step, what has your process look like from the start of doing this to now? Like what have you learned about how to process everything? Because the drones are different depending on if you build them versus if you have something that already has like proprietary software, right?
Yeah. Um, Mostly file management. Because I'll come back from a weekend with like 250 gigs worth of 4K video, which
Sure.
is a ton. And basically, so I've played with it a couple of different things. Is immediately editing everything and separating everybody out by car, and then creating
Okay.
that Google folder. That I think you actually we were talking the first time I actually did that, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I did this," and you were like, "Look at you, you're so organized." And that was like one of the first times I'd done that. And that is actually the better process to use, but it's super, super time consuming.
It is.
Especially if I don't know all the driver, because then I'm looking at the
Mm-hmm.
car like, okay, this one is green. Well, the hood is green, but the door is black.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, there you go. That's the name of that car. 240 with the green hood and the black
Uh-huh.
door. And then so I'm naming files like that. But that is just, even that part of it is time consuming. So from
Uh-huh.
the beginning, I would just wait for people to reach out to me, and then I just fish through everything and find their footage, and then ship that off to them. And then I started doing it that way. That's the best way to do it. But some weekends I'm a little lazy for that.
Sure.
So I start people once enough people start asking me for stuff, then I'm like, okay, I need to go through this and pull everybody's out and
Right.
get it together,
And
get it straight out.
I actually, when I first started with all this, I'm actually going to go back to my Shenandoah Speedway, like see if I can find my first folder. December of 2023, black 240SX, black BMW, black Infiniti, black Mustang. Get ready? Black Mustang, red Fab bumper.
Yeah.
Uh, if I had figured out who they were, it was Blue Miata Hunt Racing, um, Blue Silver Truck Wank 188. Like it just like everything is just like it's their name. If I could figure out who they were, but for me to go back and look at it, and then I realized the amount. Now this was photo. This wasn't video.
Mhm.
This was when I started. I was doing photos. So I am right there with you. Like I tried to do that at the beginning, and then I don't know about for you because I know the video part of the process is very different for you. CapCut makes it easy for me to drop all of my video in at once, and then I will scrub through all of it for what I think I want, and I can just like plug it into the different timelines. So if I want to go back for a particular driver, I decided to do that when I did Azra, and we'll talk about motorcycles versus drifting as well too. Azra, I didn't know anybody when I went, didn't know how to track anybody down. I had a couple people reach out to me, and I'm like, what does your motorcycle look like? And then same thing like with the drift.
All that. I have stories about all that.
It's like, what does your motorcycle look like? What days were you there? What heats were you in? So that I could try to narrow. Oh, that's lovely. I'm not sure what's happening there. So that I could try to narrow down where to search through the footage. What bend was I in during that time frame? It's all exhausting. And I apparently hate myself, but I enjoy it somehow, somewhere in the mix of things.
Oh yeah, for that mountain bike event I did, obviously I knew nobody at that event.
Mm-hmm.
So the names of my files were literally white t-shirt, blue bike. Because in my video, I couldn't see that their numbers are only on the very front of the bike. So unless I caught that and was able to freeze it. So I'm like, green jersey, silver helmet. And that, like, when I posted the thing, I told him, I was like, I apologize for how I had to name everything, but I also put it by time. So it was like,
Yeah.
if between 12 and 12:30, it was this group of bikes I got. And between 12:30
Okay.
and 1, it was this group of bikes I got. So hopefully you kind of knew when you were on the track and you kind of deduce, well, I had a silver
Yeah.
helmet and my bike is kind of blue. So maybe you're talking about me. And then with Astra, that was the same thing because I was like, well, those bikes have numbers on the front and the side. They have to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to
Yep.
be easier. Yeah, no. Because I'm blowing up the video and I'm just like, yep, I
Mm-hmm.
still can't tell. So it was I don't know how many white bikes there are in Astra, but there are a lot. I don't know how
Yep.
many black bikes there are, but there are a lot.
Yep.
So it was the people that had green bikes and multicolored purple, green, and yellow bikes that I was able to just be
Right.
like, boom, that's you. That's you. I got you.
Sure.
Everybody else, I don't know.
Well, actually, let's talk about. All right. So we talked about like the file management. So from the file management, what happens next for you to actually try to do the editing?
Okay, so I'll start it from the beginning. So out of the camera, 9 times out of 10, I'll have to stabilize the footage first.
Okay.
So with my computer, I have a M1 MacBook, and for 4K video, a 4-minute 4K video takes about 15 minutes to stabilize.
Okay.
And I will usually have 50 to 60 of those videos.
Sure.
So that's already a day. And then once they're stabilized, then I can go through them and chop them up by the runs that happened. So
okay.
in this 4-minute video, I might have caught 3 or 4 runs. So now that video is now chopped up into 4 different videos. So that's what I have to do for all 30, 40, 50, 60 clip videos that I have. Stabilize it, chop it up, and then figure out how to name it. So that process takes quite a bit of time.
Sure.
And that's just the raw box shape video. So I haven't made anything vertical. I haven't color graded anything.
Okay.
It's just the raw video.
That's just getting it ready to edit, essentially.
Yes, that's getting it. So I can spend 2 days just getting it ready to edit. And then editing.
I feel like we probably need to talk about what type of drone are you running, because you build yours, correct?
Yes. FPV drones. This is my workhorse.
What kind of, you're doing GoPros, right?
Yeah, well, my GoPro suffered a bad hit this weekend.
Uh-oh.
So the GoPro, it kind of works. It looked like it works, but I'm not 100% sure because it was a part of this when this happened.
I'm so proud. What happened?
Yeah. It just fell out of the air, and it was sitting on the track for quite a decent amount of time while I was trying to get them to down the track. And I watched as the car came out to the wall, completely sideways. It was beautiful, but he took my baby out.
Aww.
Yeah, GoPro went flying that way. And as far as I knew, this was disintegrated because we couldn't find it because it was under the tire dust that was on the track.
Jeez. Sam had one drop. Sam had one drop on. Can you please go somewhere that is not here, sir? No, you're going to sit down? Okay. All right. Every live, literally all but I think one live that I have ever had has this cat been in. He's been in all of them. Every single one. I don't know how he knows. I don't know how he knows, but the top of his head is in like every live that I've ever done. I'm not sure why we're here.
It's like, yeah, I got to make my co-star appearance.
I guess so. Sam had one drop on Friday when he was there. I was so bummed that he couldn't do both days. Although I guess he's in Japan at the moment.
Don't feel too
bad. I know, right? He's just living his best life. He was able to pick his up, and I think he had just like propeller damage or something, so it was cam. Yeah, cat life, not drift life right now. It's cat life right now.
Yeah, I was telling everybody on this weekend. This is all the time I've been doing. This is the first drone I've had destroyed. I've had drones drop on the track before, but this is the first one I've had get destroyed. So I feel like I've been pretty lucky up to this point.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, I love you, Sean. He said 2 of my favorite media people.
What's up,
love you. Yeah, I haven't seen too many drones annihilated in my course of being at the track. But how many operators did we actually have? Because I think there were more than I thought there were initially
There were
this
four.
past weekend. There were four?
There
Okay.
were four. Yeah, yeah, there were four of us. Uh, the a lot of the couple of the what was it, other than not Shenandoah, but Southampton. A
Oh,
couple
okay.
of Southampton pilots were up there, humdrum, and
So
a sick fool, however his Instagram is.
Humdrum, I've met a couple of times at some of the random stuff. He's definitely more down south, if I remember correctly, but he'll
Yeah,
come up this way for like Summit and stuff. He's a nice guy. Uh,
yeah.
and then I don't think I met the other one, the sick ass fool one, but his work looks really good.
Oh
He's
yeah,
another one where he's
he's
been nice
fresh.
and
He's fresh too, and
yeah.
he is hot on the
I
sticks.
guess I'm just
Yeah,
gonna have to be more jealous
yeah.
again. That's fine. I'm just
it's
gonna
people. It's people
don't
that
have to
fly
live
like him
vicariously.
that make people want to fly FPV, and then realize what
I'm
they're doing
telling
is
you.
like very
It's
difficult to pull
impossible.
off.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
Well, it's not impossible, but I
yeah.
mean,
No,
I'm just jealous. That's all it is. I'm just jealous because I'm not that
but
cool.
it,
I want to be a
but
cool kid one
it's
day.
just like drifting. You just got to get yourself a simulator because we have FPV simulators.
Somebody else was telling me about that, and I considered it, but when do I have the fucking time? You know what I mean? Like, again, it's yet another
Well, when do
thing
you
that
have
I
time to
envy
fly
is people who have
FPV?
time.
Yeah, you don't have time to do that. You don't have time to do fly FPV, so it's all null and void.
Look, don't throw reality at me, sir. Okay, throw reality at me.
Oh, and it's funny because I was just looking at your video you posted where you have the drone following you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You and Crystal, and that it looks so natural. Because I'm like, who did they get to walk behind them for that long? And then it finally clicked to me, and I saw the shadow on the ground. I was like, oh yeah, that little drone she has. That thing is
Well,
stable, and
so
it follows you guys perfect.
that thing's awesome. It's not actually mine. One of my besties, Jim, he lives out here where I do. He lives out in Amosville, Rixeyville area. So I
Mm.
have to drive past him to go Shenandoah because I take 211 a lot of times. And I was on my way and I went, oh, I have to drive by his house. So I'm on the phone like 5 minutes into my drive going, hey, are you home? You're not? Is the front door open? Can I get in?
It's the front door. You must be out there somewhere because the front
we're,
door
we're,
open.
we're,
Oh.
we're out there. So it actually happened to be in a place that I could get to it. So I stopped
And
it.
hold
I
on,
stopped by and picked it up.
when you go to Shenandoah, does you take the part of 211 that takes you over the mountain?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fun part.
The fun
Ooh,
part.
ooh,
Well, so
yes.
every direction I go, I have to go over the mountain. Like I have to go through
Really?
Skyline. Even if I go through Culpeper, I still have like the same style route.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, that's far as hell, but
Cam says at one point I had a drone almost in my window. He's like, it was sick. That's the one thing. I feel like that's the one thing we all kind of worry about a little bit. Like I actually had when I was doing my passenger work, there was a drone like right here, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. Hopefully, you catch me smile at you through my helmet. You know, because
the intrusive thoughts definitely come into play because I've been lined up at a couple of windows and I'm just like, wouldn't it be cool if I just landed?
right.
It could just sit in there and record for the rest of the flight that the festival's run. It's fine.
Right, right. Well, so I feel like that kind of brings us back to like Azra. You guys had to work to get drones at Azra because you have to be so mindful of the motorcycles, right?
Yeah, that was Vay making that happen. He's been working on that for years. And
Okay.
that's why we had a decent amount of restrictions. So we weren't supposed to fly directly over the track. And they didn't want us down too far low. And the drone pilots they chose were all former racers or road track. So it was only
Right.
two of us. So I used to race, and the other guy I think is just a track day guy. And so that's why they chose us, is because they knew we understood what the riders were looking for,
Sure.
and how not to scare them and distract them, especially since they were actual points earning races.
Okay.
It wasn't
Okay,
like a
that's
track day,
fair.
so it was like there was stuff on the line
That's
for a lot of
fair.
these guys. So
Yeah, that's fair. Cam says, I'm like, if you want to land in here and send it.
believe I've had some crazy. Ethan is one of them. He's like, yeah, land it, fly through the window, land it, do it. And I'm just like, dude, do you understand how much of a meat blender this is? These things spin at a stupid RPM, and this is pretty sharp. Like I can draw
Yeah.
blood with these props. You don't want this thing with all four of these things spinning at 10,000 RPM coming through your window. I don't care if you got a helmet, race suit on. You don't want that. You don't really want that. You think you want that. You think that would be cool until it happens. So I'm just
Right.
like, no, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
He said,
Unless
we
somebody
got
else
helmets. It's fine.
Oh, see, all I think about is I see a lot of neck
Jugular.
skin and wrist skin.
Jugular.
That's where all the major vessels are too. That shit ain't protected. That's gonna take you out. So I'll let somebody else go viral and do that. And then
I'm loving the comments. I'm going to go back to Rob, but Juliana said, one day we'll see someone with a magnetic wrist attachment to catch one like a hawk. Could you imagine just feeling? I love this group.
I 100% imagine that. That would be
And then Rob said, I marked my calendar for this one. Been waiting all week. Thank you, Dawn and Cody. Thanks for joining us, Rob.
Thanks for joining.
And then Cam said, nah, but much love, man. The skill you guys have with the drones is amazing. See, Cam, I'm with you. It's why I'm jealous. You know, I'm going to own the fact that I'm jealous.
Yeah,
That's
fun.
okay.
And one of the things I think is cool with the drones is when you see a clip, 9 times out of 10, you can tell whose clip it is.
Yeah.
Because like the way I fly is completely the way different way Mike flies. The way Mike flies is way different from somebody else flies. It's like as soon as I see a drone clip, I'm like, oh, that's Sky High FPV. Oh, that's Folk City FPV. Like I know you can look at the color grading, the type of flying, and that's why. Because I've had people suggest that I change up and fly more like Mike and more like Sam.
Yeah.
And I could, but they're doing that. And they're doing it very well. So it's like if that's the kind of clip you want, you can. I don't care. I'm not competing with them.
Right.
If that's the kind of clip you want, I'll direct you that way, and I have done it. I'm like, hey, I got this clip of you, but I can guarantee you that I saw Mike doing an orbit around you. That's gonna be hot. Go hit him up for that one. Or however it works out. So it's like we do different things.
I think there was one of the lives that I did where we were talking about some of the drone work. And I mentioned, you and I had a conversation one time where you were talking about, like Sam likes to stay low because he doesn't like heights, and you're not exactly a fan of heights, but you stay up there anyway.
See, for me, it's more preservation of gear. I don't want my stuff to happen. What happened this weekend with a drone getting crushed? These things are expensive. So
they are.
It's high risk, high reward when you're doing the moves that they're doing. So when it goes good, it looks amazing. But when it goes bad, it's going to go all the way bad. So
agreed.
That's how. So when I started, that was my reason for being higher and and staying further away.
Right.
And then over the years, I've gotten closer, and I pick my times and just take whatever the situation gives me. But it's not my goal to be as low and as close as possible. I'm more looking at it through the goggles, going like, does this shot look good? What about this shot? Like, does this? And when I'm beside him like this, does this look good? Does this? Am I far enough back that I can get the mountains and the sunset in the background on this shot?
Right.
So I'm thinking more like that when I'm flying. Well, I guess more cinematic type when I'm flying versus
that's fair.
And making sure that you can see the drift car, because I'm from riding motorcycle, I was more interested in seeing what I looked like than it being a really impressive video or picture.
Yeah, I got you.
Because the thing with motorcycles, big thing is everybody wants to get their knee down. So the picture could be fire as shit, but if it doesn't show how far my knee is from the ground, then it's worthless to me. Because I'm just like, what's my body position look like? Is my ass off the seat? Is my head down? Like, are you showing me stuff that I want to see? So I kind of bring that mindset into the drifting. Like, so I'm like, okay, so I'm going to try to shoot it in a way where they can see how they entered that turn. They see how they entered that drift. And was it the right point? Was it the wrong point? When they spun out, they could see they spun out. Because a lot of times if you're too close, you can't see what the car is actually doing or where it is on the track.
Okay.
Whereas if you're a back, if I like to call what I do the video game view, third person video game
That's
view.
fair. That I think that's
Whereas,
it. I think that's a good
yeah,
description.
which is visually pleasing to me. So I just always hope that it's visually pleasing to somebody else. I could be completely wrong and just be doing this whole thing wrong, but that's just, I grew up playing like, Gran Turismo and all those things where you could be in the car, but they always had that third person option.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
for the simulators, yeah, you want to be in the car, but for the other games, Spy Hunter and all those other stupid car games, you want that third person view so you can see everything that was going on. Mario Kart, third person view. Somebody slips a banana out there, I'm gonna be the first one to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cam said it really is like they're tandem with us. They run the same line and then anticipate moves just as if they're in the car next in line. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And actually, like what you said about like seeing people's footage, I actually knew Mike was at an event when I saw the drone. So when I saw the flying, I was
Mm-hmm.
I actually stopped when we were at Langley. I think that's why we were talking about it. I think Brew and I were talking about it. And Brew says, "You do you, boo." Um, I saw the drone and I'm like, I didn't know we had a drone operator because I hadn't seen anybody set up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked one of the people that was there, I was like, who's our drone person for today? They're like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, okay. And then I posted something and Mike's inboxed me going, I didn't know you were there today. I'm like, I knew it was you. It's like, I
You
knew
are
it.
real.
So
Yep.
it's funny because it's like once you've seen the flying as well too, like I can typically tell Sam has a very, very particular view that there's a lot of times I'm like, I know that's got to be Sam. And I'm like looking for it.
Oh, if you see a drone literally skipping off the ground because it's so low, that's
Yeah,
probably Sam.
exactly.
The way that he can
Exactly.
maintain that altitude and just still maneuver is still amazing to me. That I definitely I can't do what Sam does. I'll freely
Yeah.
admit that I probably could, but I would destroy some drones in the process of learning how to do that.
Oh, sure. The the
Yeah,
the learning
it's
curve on that has to be
oh
steep.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, I think he was a racer, which is because I have a theory because these drones came up and they were actually racing drones. They all called racing drones, but they literally raced them around, gates and everything. So the guys that race tend to be very, very precise. They can
Hmm.
hold an altitude and still get around the corners and stuff. So I've found that guys that race tend to be really good at freestyle and chasing drift cars or chasing anything
Okay. Right.
because their control is just top notch. I never raced. I've only ever done freestyle and this.
Okay.
So I'm a little looser with my a little more loosey goosey, kind of go with the flow, what happens. And it was funny because what he was saying about we follow the same lines. We 100%, and I catch myself doing it because there'll be
Hmm.
a situation where a car might gap me a little bit, and instead of cutting through the grass, cutting over the grass to catch back up, I will literally stay on the track line and follow their line
Yeah.
around the track to get back with them instead of cutting through to get over there
Yeah.
because I'm like, no, I got to hit this apex like they hit that apex and get around that corner like they got around that corner. And I'm looking at the
Well,
footage later. I'm like, dumbass, you could have just cut through here and you would have met them right on the other side. So I kind of
my
got to get myself
curi-
out of the mindset sometimes.
my curiosity with that would be is like I know for me, um, when I'm actually tracking from the ground, like I have the camera and I'm actually tracking from the ground, there's a lot of times when I know the car is going to spin out. And that's
Mm-hmm.
a combination of visually looking at it and listening to it because I'm so close to it. Do you
Mm-hmm.
guys see the same thing when you're looking through the goggles? Like, is it kind
Oh
of,
yeah.
you
Oh
can kind
yeah.
of tell
Yeah.
what's coming?
Yeah, you can see when they're loading. You can see when somebody's loading up for a 360.
Hmm.
Like you can just see that whole, and you see the car just get all the way loaded, and like this is more than just a manji, and then they'll whip around.
Yeah.
Um, and we can see the biggest thing that I think is cool is we can see driver development probably better than anybody else can,
Oh, absolutely.
especially when we're going to the same events, seeing the same
Hmm.
drivers week
Yep.
after or month after month. Like you'll see people like I saw a lot of people in January who struggled just to do figure eights, who are tandeming on pretty much any track they want to go to and just
Yep.
killing shit all over the place by the end of the year. So
Yeah.
it's like damn, that shit is so cool to see the progression like that. Yeah, but so
Well,
we can definitely see when they're about to turn, when they're about to spin out, when they're about to do all that
mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
I will say that the majority of the time that I get paid to take footage is because people want progress footage. They want what it is that they're doing recorded so they can go back and look at it later.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean that's definitely fair. And let's see, Rob Bruce said air hogs barely made up to 50 feet. The FPV world seems like magic to me still.
Oh, air hogs.
What's an air hog?
It was the thing. It was like I think it was they had water power ones and air power ones. I think, and you basically off the pressure they launched off of the little pedestal and flew for however long
Oh,
they could fly.
oh, okay, okay,
They
okay,
have
okay. I got
rockets
you, I
and
got
they
you, I
have
got you.
and planes.
I
Yeah,
know. I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Um, ooh, excuse me. So we've talked about the drone. We've talked about the fact that it's FPV and that they're built and that they have cameras on them and the filing system. You then have to go through the stabilization process. And then once you go through the stabilization process, what happens next?
After I stabilize, that's usually when I divvy up, separate out the clips um, out of each. So each each recording is as long as a battery lasts. So on average, I get about 4.5 minutes on a battery.
That's so
So
crazy to
every
me.
so when I say there's a video, it's usually about a 4.5 minute video, and then
Okay.
after I've stabilized it, I'm slicing up into however many runs I was able to catch in that 4.5 minutes, and
So it
then
really
once I
sucks then when they have to shut grid down for something.
yes, what sucks is well because the biggest thing about drifting is you never know when the next cars are going to go. So
Yep.
like there's plenty of times I'll take off and I'm in the air and I've chased one car and now they've stopped. I guess it might be a bumper on the track or something where
Right.
they've shut down. So I'm like, do I come back and land or do I just hang out in the air and hope they get going soon? So I'll have a decent amount of videos where it's like nothing for 2 minutes in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
But you still
I've
got to
seen
scrub
it.
through all of that and filter through all that stuff. But
Yeah.
so after I divvy it up, then I name everything. Usually for a 1 day event, I will try to make the better clips vertical because I try to
Okay.
give everybody. If you ask me for your clips, I try to give you everything I have for
Okay.
that same reason of seeing what you did. Whether you went out half the lap and spun out and then just drove out, I give you
Right.
every time I caught you, I give that to you. But then there are a couple that are probably the hero shots that I'll try to make vertical for people. But I
Okay.
haven't been doing that as much lately unless they requested it. But because that's probably the most time consuming part after stabilizing.
So
Yeah,
what programs are
yeah.
you using for all of this? Oh, and real quick, uh, Jay said two of my favorite people. He says, I'm not late, am I? No, Jay, you're good.
So Jay. Oh wow, I'm just noticing the delay. All right, I shouldn't look at that. Okay.
All right. So what
What you
softwares are
asking
you
for?
using?
Oh, okay. So for stabilization, I use GyroFlow.
Okay.
That basically lets you stabilize any footage that has GPS data attached to it. And then
Hmm.
for video editing, I use Final Cut Pro.
Okay. Because you're an Apple user, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I think that's all I have. Yeah. I know some people will use two editors. They'll use Final Cut to edit and then use DaVinci to color grade because apparently
That's
DaVinci is like
fair.
crazy with the color grading. But
It is, I don't know. The whole editing process. I don't know what's happening here. The whole editing process. I've got cat hair now in my lip gloss. I've got my hair in my don't do that. You're gonna make me jealous again. You know how many times I've thought about just shaving all of this off?
Rain just beads up
Just
and
to start
falls
wearing
off.
hats.
You're the first one to know about any weather.
Um, so DaVinci, I think, is a very great program, and I love the fact that they have a free version. So I think anybody who's editing, it's definitely a great place to start. It's very much like Premiere Pro in the sense that there's such a huge learning curve because there's so much packed in it that
Mm,
what I found ended up happening for me was CapCut was so user friendly and simplified that I just got comfortable doing like my quick edits and stuff in there that I haven't taken the time to go, okay. let's learn something new in one of these other two things that I have, because I have the paid version of DaVinci. I also have Premiere Pro because it comes with my whole Adobe suite. And I'm over here like I'm just in like software overload. And then you go through and you do videos and you look at things and go
Does
ahead.
CapCut work? Does CapCut have a PC version? Is there a version for the computer
Yeah.
of CapCut? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just a phone app.
No, 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 no. No, they have both, which is really nice. Yeah, Jay, DaVinci is intimidating. The interesting thing about DaVinci
Yeah.
is if you break down small parts of it at a time, it's not too bad. But every time I have tried to watch like a color grading anything,
Mm.
I'm like, there's literally no portion of what these people are saying makes any sense. Sure, it's great to know how like all the buttons function. Love
Mm.
it, but it doesn't help me give a feel. Like, and I'm gonna fangirl one of my media friends, Wes. He's very good at this dreamy cinematic video, and every time I look at him, like, I have no fucking clue how he does that. And I'm just like, I'm sure I could go find something out in the ether and sit here and try to
Mhm.
figure it out. And I'm like, no, Wes can have it. Wes can have it. I don't like the drone guys. You guys can keep it. It's fine. I'm going to stay in my lane, whatever lane that is, whichever one I choose for that day.
Well, it's just a
You
matter of
know,
playing with it because, like,
it
most of the stuff
is.
I've learned is just like sometimes I'll just take a junk video and just go in there and
Yep.
just move all the sliders all the way to the left, all
Uh
the way to
huh.
the right, or and just
Uh
to
huh.
see what it does to this video, and just I'm like, ooh, I
I
might
do the
use that
same
for
thing.
something. Yeah,
I do the same thing. Now, the drawback with that is, and I've done this with photos. One of my cover photos on Facebook was an underwater photo that I did, and somehow I created what looked like a music album cover. And for the life of me, I have no fucking clue what I clicked on, what sliders I
was
changed.
that the one that you
What,
said you thought was lost, and then you did something to it, and it would end up being a
no,
good
it
picture?
wasn't even. It wasn't even that one. There was a really really colorful one that I
Mm.
had as like my cover photo on my actual like Facebook, and it just turned out like so lovely. And I have no fucking clue how I did it because it was one of those moments where I was playing with stuff. I don't remember what I touched. And I'm
Yeah.
really bummed about it because I wanted to do the same thing with some of the other photos, but I didn't get to touch it like the same day. And I'm like, all
That's what she
right,
said.
well, it's a one of
Yeah.
one. It's a one of one. That's what's happening. All right, let's see. What do we have in here? Let's see. Bruce says he got the turtle wax on Prime. I can't stop it. River says my favorite media friends on one screen. Love you. You're one of
Hey,
he's one of my
the
favorite
homie
people.
showed up.
Him and Justin, man. Those two, like, I could just hang out with them all day because it's gonna be a tragic mess, but it's a fun mess.
River was the first person to come up to me after I got my drone off the track.
Oh,
He's like, "Is that
really?
yours?" Yeah, I was like, "Oh." At first, I'm looking at him like, "Damn, I didn't even know you were here." But I was like, "I have other things I'm dealing with right now."
Yeah, it's just definitely. There were actually a lot of because there were so many drive. Let's talk about Doricon. I gotta move this blanket thing. My feet were cold, now they're hot. Don't be a woman. Don't get old. Okay, just so we're all on the same page. I was comfortable. Now I'm not. There, there were people there that I didn't realize were there for like a whole day because I didn't see them for whatever reason. And I think I even had like one of my media friends or one of my driver friends say, I was like, where the fuck? I never saw you at all. I had somebody ask me for video about a particular car, and I'm like, I didn't even see this car. And I'm like, where was I? And then, in all fairness, what happened with that particular person was they drove mostly on Saturday, and Andy Hamke, Pop Pop's Garage is in our chat at the moment. I was in his passenger seat most of the evening, which is probably why I didn't see the car that drove
Mhm.
most of the day. And I think that's one of the things where, like, I'm okay with the fact that I don't do the drone stuff because I'm in so many different places at any given point in time, whether it's cameras on a car, camera in a car, camera from the ground, glasses on a driver for POV, like whatever it is. It's like, I
Yeah.
don't need another one. It's fine. Just live vicariously through you
That's
guys.
why no one ever sees me, because usually if you see me, something went wrong, because that means I'm taking my drone
Right.
up off the
Exactly.
track.
Well, I have an endearing term for you because there was one time we were having a conversation because you never say goodbye. And I have a problem with that. Like, everybody should say goodbye if they can. Now, I also realize I'm like one of the last people to leave the track a lot of time, like on the last
Mhm.
day. And, so I started calling you Mr. Hit It and Quit It Media because it's like you get in and you get out and nobody knows you were there. You know, if I get lucky enough, I get a hug when I see you. That's it. I never see you again unless it's somewhere in
So
passing on the way.
I speak to the people in my immediate area. I'm traumatized. Let me tell you. So in the motorcycle world, say you go to a bike night or something, you got like 100 people there. I'm not saying goodnight to everybody. I'm gonna be there another 45 minutes, because when it's time to go, it's time to go. So the people at my table, the people around my media area, I'm like, all right, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
let them know I'm gone. I'm out the door. Hey, I'm not spending
Done.
45 minutes saying goodbye. Now, in my defense, though, for Doricon on Saturday
What
night,
happened was,
all of y'all were doing y'all thing. Y'all had y'all cameras out. Y'all were down the track. So I was like,
sure.
oh, that's too bad.
No, it
They're all
wasn't.
down
Stop it.
there. So I'm going to ahead and pack up and get up out of here.
I need a text message next time, sir. Be like, love you, bye. Send me a heart and a little huggy face. I don't care.
Home safe.
Exactly. I probably texted 6, 7 different media people on my way home going, hey, I was in a car until the lights went out. I love you. Tell me if you get home safe. Like, literally, there was like 6 people on my phone where I was sending messages. Juliana, can you recall any jump scares you've had in the goggles?
Jump scares. Uh, yeah, yeah. Actually, and did I ever show anybody that video? I don't think I did. But when I was down at Southampton, is it Mima's garage? Is that how you
Mm-hmm.
pronounce that? Yeah. So I was chasing him down the straightaway, and I didn't know this at the time, but apparently his engine blew.
Okay.
So I was trying to be Sam. So I'm literally below his rear bumper, like right at his
Okay.
exhaust. His engine blows, and I go right into the bumper. Like you can see video under the car, everything. It tumbles and it lands upright, and I can see the media guy who was standing on the corner start to walk out there, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, and I just took off, and I was like, okay, that was it. Oh, actually, Sean Cromwell, he's at Capitol. I was chasing him, and I was aimed right at his passenger window. Like all I could
Okay.
see was the opening of his window and his head,
Uh,
and I was thinking, he's going to keep turning. He's going to keep turning. He didn't keep turning. He kind of started got the sliding sideways, so he just kept on that course, and so he was still there when I thought he would have been gone. So I'm just like,
yeah.
quick blurt, jumped over the car and went to the other side. It's been a couple of times I thought I was going to end up hitting, because because I know a lot of these drift cars are, and they put like the helicopter pads on the roof and everything, so they intend for us to, have a little contact, whatever. But the idea of hitting somebody's car is
Yeah.
just not acceptable to me. So anytime I get too close and I'm just like, it's a moment where I'm just like having freaking out and having to give it all the throttle to get out of the way. Those are my jump scares. Luckily, I
Yeah.
haven't had anything with a person, like a soft target.
Okay.
Not that I would
I
admit
love that
to.
I was going to say, I love that we're calling it a soft target.
Yeah,
We're in
I
the
mean, it
military
is.
now.
Hey. Do I have to say it again? Meat blender. This is a meat blender.
Pop up. Andy said, I think next year I want to come up with it. You know what? Okay. So I would like to do more with DoryCon next year from the media perspective. I don't know if Jason will let me or not, but Andy, I'm kind of with you. There are other spaces, there are other events that I have been to and been in where the media is handled where you're like kind of in the face of the drivers.
Yes.
And that's what I want to see more of. And a lot of the tracks are really, really bad at it because I don't think they know they're bad at it. Because I don't think media gets thought of the same way that the drifters do. And not that we need to be thought of exactly the same way, as the drivers do, but we'll take Summit Point and Drift Nirvana. They have this whole online portal where you can see the drivers list of people who are coming and all the media people who are coming, but you have to know how to click into the thing to go find the thing. And then
Motorsport
the
Reg
foot.
is a nightmare.
Oh my God, I freaking hate it. It
that
makes me
that
want to
website
build
is
my.
a nightmare.
It makes me want to build my own, honestly. Um, and then the photo is like this big, and then you have to hope they updated it because y'all change y'all cars like you change your underwear. I swear. If I go to one
Finn,
more event and I'm like, who are you? That happened at Doricon. That's what it was. Scotty Waldron. When he drove in, I go, oh, I haven't seen that car before. That's kind of cool. I like the livery. It's fucking Scotty. I go walking past Scotty in the pit, and I'm like, or in the paddock, and I'm like, wait, what did you do? And I didn't know it was him. Like, I probably would have taken more video of him if I had known it was him because I didn't know who the person was.
now I will tell you something that Doricon did that was a win was the driver numbers.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I was looking through my footage. I was looking through my footage the other day, and I was like, "That's because every single car that I have, you can see their driver number."
Yep.
So when
And
I'm
we had a
labeling
couple
stuff,
of
I could just go.
cars. Yeah, well, we also had a couple of cars that were similar enough in color and body style that, like me, who doesn't know that it's a Nissan with a bunch of numbers and letters after it. Remember that technical thing we were talking about at the beginning? I always, whenever somebody says something to me about, oh yeah, the blah, blah, blah with the turbo LS swap and the ZYABC thing. And I'm like, sure, okay. I love that you think I know what that means, sir. I need a name. I need a photo. Give me something to work with here. But it definitely helped because there were a couple of cars that like they were similar enough that I had a hard time like quick reference. But then once I knew the number, I'm like, oh, okay, I know that's Devin. Or, you know, now like with Andy, his livery is so distinct that you know who it is, but not everybody has that.
But there were like 2 or 3 black Z's out there.
Dude,
so you
there were like 4 freaking silver BMWs. I'm so over silver BMWs. I need you all to like paint them, put a sticker on the damn thing. I don't care.
Or do what some guys had this past weekend: have no trunk, no quarter panels. Right. That one was easy to pick out. Right. Ripping too, with lots of body panels.
I need something. Let's see. What'd Cam say? That was my boat. I didn't get there till 1 a.m. on Saturday. I only drove on Saturday. I'm going to say it wrong. I think we got to get live stream cameras around the track for next year. You know, I've talked about that a couple of times. Dominion does live cameras, and I actually almost want to talk to them about how they got it set up. I'd like to see that at Summit Point. I don't know if Shenandoah's set up for it from like an electrical and whatever. I tried going live from the track, and then I got to thinking about it when I got home. Like, there's probably a different way I could have gone live from the track, just like setting up somewhere. The hard part with doing live from the track is whether you have camera trackers. Like, is it just like an open like feed and you're just seeing certain areas? Because the hard part with that then becomes is you've got dead air time depending on what's going on the track. You don't constantly have something moving, which isn't engaging. But I get where you're coming from with that. Nathan wants to know, what's the best event you guys have covered?
Ooh. What are we judging by? Atmosphere?
Let me see if he said anything else. Okay. Can you, sir, you're being rude. I know, I talk to him like he's a person. I apologize. I've decided that I will be the single crazy cat lady for the rest of my life. I own it.
Oh, Jay, you know? Don't bring that up, bro. This is talking about the dude that took my drone twice in one day.
All right.
I still get hot about that. I still get.
All right. So best coverage. So I would say, what's been maybe your favorite event? Maybe not so much best coverage, but maybe what's been your favorite event to shoot?
I'm putting the whole event together, my experience versus what was going on. Jeez. Honestly, it would probably be some of the Capitol Raceway events.
Okay.
And I know I haven't been down there in a long time,
I haven't
and
either.
it's for different reasons. That's why I'm trying to think like what criteria I'm going to weigh the heaviest.
Okay.
Um, because
So, okay, let's do it
okay,
this
so
way.
okay, best overall event I would have to say is Doricon. I would
Okay.
put this year's first and last year's second.
That's fair.
Overall, just like
Yeah.
when I take everything into effect, how it was set up for me to fly and how the drivers that showed up and everything that happened, how it was
Okay.
run. That's that whole thing. But there have been other events that I felt like were really good too. Like DOD is just DOD.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just anywhere you go, there's something going on that you want to get a part of, be a part of.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it'd probably be one of those two. It'd be Doricon or DOD.
I think that's fair. I know, like, for me, it really depends. And, like, I understand why you say capital. So I can shoot differently at Shenandoah and Capital versus how I can shoot at Summit or Grid Life or Hyperfast. So I think that's the hard part because a lot of times the video that people like social media wise and want is the stuff that I'm only allowed to do at Capital and Shenandoah because
Yeah,
I'm allowed to have my arm out a window. I'm not allowed to have my arm out a window anywhere else. Now,
man.
there is risk involved in that. I am aware of the risk when I do it. That is a choice and decision that I have made in that moment. It does not mean everybody should do it. Just disclaimer. So, but with that said, I'm trying to figure out a better way to get that style of video without getting yelled at for having my arm out the window, but I have not figured that out yet. I'm like, what if I
Lots of
like I'm
camera
like trying
mounts.
like
Lots of camera mounts.
well, but
Yeah,
so
lots of camera.
I think the hard part is that when I have the ability to do that, and I think that's the problem is I have a lot of camera mounts. I have a lot of different cameras that I can use. Like even at Doricon, I use the 360s and I
Mhm.
use them at the driver and passenger so that I could get both sides of the car. But then you're talking about now I have to cut two different videos. I have to cut them into one video so you guys want to look at it so that everybody wants to
Mhm.
look at it because it's not progress video at that point. That's social media video that I have to edit and put together, which is completely different than just giving somebody their full run. And sir, just can't. So that that's very different. And it would be really hard for me to pick like my favorite event based on how I can shoot because it's different. But I very much liked Grid Life Midwest Fest. Now, the caveat to that is the reason I liked it is because the music part of it makes it next level, right? I don't love Grid Life to an extent. I don't want to say it that way because I actually very much like Grid Life. The thing I don't like about Grid Life is because you have like five different styles of racing happening at the same time.
Mhm.
Drifting only happens like three times that day for 20 minutes. So that
Oh
means I
wow.
have to be, yeah, I have to be on a timeline. I'm only one person and I need to be in two places. So if I want to set the pit up, I have to set the cameras up on the car and hope that somebody knows how to hit a record button,
Mhm.
or I have to hit record before he leaves and then hope they don't get too hot and overheat. And
Yeah.
then I have to carry myself to wherever it is I'm going to shoot from if I have access to the track. There's some tracks I actually can't get on track because they don't have an option for it. And actually, Dominion's going to be like that from the sounds of it because I haven't shot there yet. I'll be there this weekend for an enduro race, and then I'll be there next weekend for the drifting event. I've never even seen drifting there, and that's going to be on the road course. So it's really hard for me to pick because everything has a different benefit.
After thinking about it, because I want to be committal on my answer and actually have an answer for that question, I'm going to
Okay.
say the smaller events. So yeah, like Capital and Drift Southern Maryland, where it's a tight knit group of people
Yeah.
who every time you go out there, it's the same
Grassroots.
people,
Yep.
and you get to know the people. I feel like the bigger events, the bigger tracks, everything is always kind of hectic.
Yep.
And for drone pilots, the bigger tracks mean you have to concentrate more on the bigger tracks. Like
Yeah.
you have to be, you're going faster, and you're keeping up with vehicles that are just like hauling the fucking mail, and
Yep.
you still want to make the shot look good while you're still keeping with the car. So it's actually more concentration and thought involved in the bigger tracks, like Summit Point and
Yeah.
MI. Well, the MIR layout is kind of like Capital, so that's not too bad. But
Yeah. Well, and I
Shenandoah
think,
is actually kind of big too. When they get to
yeah.
going down the straight and everything. But yeah,
So
but
I
like the
think,
small groups of like 30, 40, 50 guys who are just always showing
mhm.
up to those same events, and you get to know them and that kind of thing. I think I enjoy
You
that a
know
little bit
something
more.
I want to do. So I'm with you. I actually like the smaller tracks because I like the grassroots. Don't get me wrong. I love the experienced drivers and the cars that come with the experienced drivers, like the more pro style drivers. Partially because it makes for good social media, depending on what you can get of them, but partially just because it's really fucking cool to watch. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I'm with you on the fact that like the casualness of the smaller tracks or the smaller knit groups is kind of nice because you can just kind of wander. You can kind of do it at your own pace. I'm always kind of blow and go. I'm like, hey, you guys ready? Hey, I know I annoy everybody at the track. I know it. Like nobody tells me, nobody tells me, but I'm like, hey, are you ready? No, you're not ready. I'm gonna come back in 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Love you. And then I'm off to like the next person.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
every
and you have stuff like at how many times at Shenny Summit Point Shenny do you see like 7 or 8 cars going at the same time?
Mhm,
It's like
exactly.
the it's a rules thing, and I'm sure it's a safety thing and all that other stuff. But I think the
Yep.
lower speeds at the smaller tracks make that kind of stuff okay. So you get like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars going around the track at the
Right.
same drifting at the same time. That shit
Yeah.
is just a party, and it's fun for me to watch them doing it. So I
Yeah.
know they got to be having
Absolutely.
fun doing it. That kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I'm with you. There is
Yeah.
something that I want to do. There is something that I want
Mm-hmm.
to do, and you're gonna have to tell me what you think. Um, and I need to reach out to Jason because it's been in the back of my mind. It was in the back of my mind before DoryCon, and now I really want to do it. I want to do a private day at Shenandoah where we have drivers and media people who want to chip in to rent the track for the day, and then we just
Mm-hmm.
have a free for all on whatever we want to do. So if there's something new we want to try media wise, but we can't do it on a regular day, but we can coordinate it there. Maybe we take out 30 minutes for media to do what they want. Then the guys run for like an hour, and then maybe another 30 minutes for us to do things where we have to be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but like I kind of want to do it because I know some people like the private days because you can kind of run how you want and you're not, there are regulations, but you're not regulated. You know what I mean? Like there's ways that you still have to maneuver, but you can talk to somebody and be like, hey, here's what we want to do, but we want to do it safely. Or we want to coordinate it in a way that, because when you go to the bigger events and you try to do stuff like that, it affects everybody. Versus if you did like a private day, you could kind of do what you want. All right, you respond. I'm going to look through these real quick.
Yeah, smaller. Because I know with Tricky Films, we did a thing with Chris. I don't think he ended up using the footage, but when he had his Corvette down at MIR,
Hmm.
there's some kind of video game, and he was trying to recreate the opening for it. And
Okay.
because it was a smaller track, smaller event, we were able to sit up there and have Chris line up in the very middle of the track, so we could set up and get this shot he wanted. Like you couldn't do that at a bigger track, bigger event kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that goes back to the kind of things I enjoy about the smaller events.
Well, I mean, and that's also kind of like, Wes, RIP to the Red Fit. RIP. We'll take a moment. Uh, that's like Wes being able to kind of run around the track chasing after people to get the cinematic video. We can't do that everywhere. You know what I mean? And again, it takes coordination and you've got to ask and you've got to make sure you understand what the rules and the etiquette and all that sort of stuff are. But I think that's it sometimes is we can only learn what we can learn in the spaces that we can learn them. And a lot of times the smaller tracks give us the freedom to do that. And then Jay said, I remember the kid with another drone that hit Kobe's drone like three. Oh gosh, I can only imagine. Because we've talked about that
Okay.
before about too many drones being in the same space at the same time, right?
Well, the thing that's funny about that incident is that guy is actually a really good media person. Like
Okay.
the stuff that he does, he's one of those people that gets like tens of thousands of views on stuff kind of guy. but somehow that day he hit me head. He took me out of the sky. I had a powwow with all the drone pilots, put an action plan together as to how we weren't going to let that happen again. And the very next time I went out, he hit me head on and took me out again, and like almost completely destroyed the drone.
Oh
And
no.
I have to admit, I kind of lost it. I dropped a lot of four-letter words as I was walking from the track to him and to just the ether in general. Only because we had talked about it. Because stuff happens. Because I understand,
Yeah.
we're flying, things happen. But we literally
Sure.
just talked about this, and I was like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do to avoid this from happening again." And then the
Uh-huh.
very next time I went up, he did it again, and I was just like, uh, yeah, I'm actually looking at parts from that drone. Like this camera, the lens is cracked. I'm literally looking at stuff from that incident. Yes, I keep stuff
That's
that I shouldn't keep.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's when Brew and I went to Langley, I put two of the GoPros like kind of down low because we were trying to get some footage of the stage wheels. I think we're going to try again at Summit Point because we got footage, but we weren't sure if we loved it or not. And I had one that was already cracked on the back, so that was one of the ones I used, and then I popped another one on, and then I cracked the glass on that one. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? So I'm going to have to get the stupid plastic cages to go on them just to make sure that they don't crack anymore, because then if they get wet, I run the risk of, them dying. But out of all of the things that I have, that's the least thing that I'm worried about losing because of some of the other stuff. But Cam says, I
Mason
think y'all.
Archives.
Oh, hang on. I'm back probably a little bit further.
Oh, okay.
Cam says, I think y'all are just as important. You guys catch some of our best memories for us to relive forever. That's big in my opinion. Okay.
Opinion.
Um, I'm just giving out
Yeah,
hearts
man.
today because you guys are all so
Trying to.
lovely.
Yes. We wouldn't have any shooting to shoot if you
Jay.
guys weren't out there risking life and limb in your cars.
Well, that's exactly it. I think that's why everybody's so, I'm going to say nice or, open and kind of like caring in this space, is because everybody kind of knows, that there's a risk. They know that shit can go sideways, pun intended. And that, that's for all of us, us and for them. And that's, oh gosh, even when we were at DoryCon this weekend, there was a guy, I can't tell if he was doing film or not, but with the way the exit was set up and the way one of the turns was set up, he was literally right in one of the paths for people to exit if they came out at a certain spot. And I went up to him like, dude, you can't be there. I was like, you have to back up. And then he backed up further into the spot where the car, and I went back. I was like, I promise you, I'm not trying to be an asshole. You cannot be there. If they spin out, they're catching you. If they try to leave, they're catching you. I said, you come into the middle, that's fine. I said, but you cannot stay where you are. And I always feel like the meanie sometimes, but I was like, I don't think some people understand that there is a risk, even when you're giving space and you think you know what you're doing. There is still a risk, because if something breaks on that car while they're engaged in that drift, they're sliding right at you, because that drift is in that portion of the turn. It's physics.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jay says, were there teams at DoryCon? So technically, yes, but it wasn't about teams, if that makes sense. So like people who do the whole team thing together did show up together, but there wasn't a reason specific for teams like a final bout. Actually, you know what? I forgot about final bout. Final bout might be my favorite.
I cannot tell you how upset I am that I missed out on final bout at Summit Point.
Okay.
I got my application in too late. That broke my freaking heart, because I think it got on my radar too late or something. I don't remember how that happened.
I think it's interesting that you say that, because it happened to me too. I happened to get lucky because I had done the same thing. I was like, what is final? I didn't even know what final bout was. Like, it hadn't been something that had come across my feed before. I was like, well, that looks kind of fun. That looks cool. It's going to be at Summit Point. I applied. And because there was so much media that applied and they had a cutoff point, I was in the same boat you were, where I wasn't going to get it because there were already too many people. I had gone to the event anyway with Ryan because I was going to do media with Ryan and Ryan was working it. And there were like 4 or 5 people that didn't show up for their badges. Like they didn't show up for the fact that they were supposed to. And then, Ryan, he goes, so, hey, and I went, oh, everybody's going to hate me. Everybody's going to hate me. I'm going to be that media person. I was like, don't you get me in trouble. I was like, if you can, and like I'm talking to, I think what is his name, Max. I'm talking to Max, going, Max, it's fine. It's okay. Like like wide eyed because I'm just like, oh, everybody's gonna fucking hate me. And I'm really glad that I got to do it. I'm not huge on comps. Not a fan of them, to be honest with you. They're so dreadfully boring. Like I will never do rivals again. That was like a waste of my afternoon. And not because the guys were a waste of my afternoon. Like any point in time, I would shoot the guys.
To be fair, that they had that long. It was almost a 2 hour gap of they had lunch and then like an hour of setup, and it was a long time of nothing happening.
It was a lot. It was a lot, and then I couldn't tell if we were done. Like because
I apparently missed the whole top 8. I thought it was over. Last year, I got every single freaking run of the rivals, and this year it got to a point. I was like, "Yep, he looks like he was the winner." Because it had been a couple of hours. I was like, "Yep, he looks like he won. That's it. Let's go home." And then I get home, and they were like, "Y'all are like, yeah, we just finished." I'm like, "Excuse me, you mean it was still happening?" Yeah. Rivals was that was interesting.
Well, and then I went to actually walk away. I went to leave because I was like, guys, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm over this. And I went to walk away from it, and the judges were like, we're not done yet. Oh, all right. I go back over to my corner.
I do have one recommendation for rivals. They need to get a PA system. Because I think it would be a lot more interesting if people knew what was going on and where they were in the battle and everything. Because it's like you don't have a dog in the fight because you're just like, what's happening? Like, why are they still going?
Yeah.
Is this one more time? I don't understand why that's happening.
And if you get distracted by something, you don't actually see who won. Like if you're not staring at the 2 cars while they're sitting there while somebody's trying to make a determination, you have no clue what's happening. Yeah. Bruce said they did a live stream at the SCCA racing last week. So I don't know their setup. And that's the thing. I mean, Summit Point is its own entity, and like we have information and we don't have information all at the same time. So I don't know what they have access to and what they don't have access to. I just think that sometimes the drifting feels like the redheaded stepchild, and I hate to say it that way, but it feels like an afterthought sometimes. Like it doesn't feel like it gets the same amount of attention or effort. I don't know what it is. I want to see more from it, I guess. Maybe I just have a high expectation. I don't know. Because I think there's so much more, because it's such a large track and they have all the spectator parking. Like they have all the space to have spectators. We don't have enough spectators because I don't think spectators realize it's happening. That's definitely something I would like to see a little bit more of, with that particular track. Let's see. Oh, Nathan said atmosphere and coverage. That was what he was looking for, like atmosphere and coverage. Yeah.
Oh, atmosphere and coverage. So
yeah.
So then I definitely go with a smaller track. So I would definitely say Capital or MIR for me.
Yeah.
Because and also because they're slow. For me personally, this is a me thing. For drone coverage, the smaller tracks, I can do more.
Yeah.
Like I can play with my angles a lot more on a smaller, slower track than the huge shinny or main, or there are only so many different things you can do.
You also have to go the full length of the track, or you can only go half the track before you have to come back to grab the next car. Because I can't tell you how often I've missed a car at some events because either they're sending so many people out at one time, I can't track all of them and I have to pick, or sometimes that, even like when we do the Shenandoah track at Summit, which is always confusing when you say that out loud and you're talking about the actual like Shenandoah Speedway. If something happens on track, it can take a long time to clear it off the track because they've got to get the truck to them, then get them off the track. And then you're like listening. I don't know about you, but I'm constantly listening. Like, are they coming yet? Are they coming yet? Oh, which one is that? I bet you it's so-and-so. Because some of the cars sound so very distinct. Like you're pretty sure you know who's coming down the track before they get there.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I
I
love
don't know
River.
with Summit
River.
for Summit Shinny though. Like I if I chase a tandem or a car, if I take
Mhm.
it chase it all the way to the end, I'm gonna miss the next, if not the next two sets
That's
that come
fair.
out.
Yeah,
Because by the
that's
time I
fair.
finish, they've sent one, and when I'm flying back, they usually have sent the next one too. So then
Yeah,
I'm going to miss. I'm only getting like every third or fourth run that goes out. So
right.
because it's so
Right.
big,
Now, do you look at what the cars are in the line so you can choose which car you want, knowing that you're probably going to miss somebody?
when they do reverse, I can because where we set up on the other
Okay.
side of the track, we can see them in line. When they're coming from the other
Okay.
side, it's just like I hear a car, just
It's a crapshoot. Got it.
whatever it is, I'm chasing it. Yeah, yeah, we have no
Yeah.
idea.
River said, come out Saturday to Cap. He said, I'll pay y'all entry fees. If I weren't doing enduro race, I would, because I talked to Peter, Infinite Prism. He was trying to get me to come out Saturday, but I have to go down to Dominion with Ryan for an enduro race. This is going to be my first time checking out an enduro race, so we'll see what that looks like.
And I'll be at a wedding this weekend, this Saturday.
We're all fired.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
Nason. We're the
I think this is their comp this weekend. I think it's
who
their comp
Cap
for at Capital. Yeah.
probably. River likes the comps. Um, And then Nason said, were the ribbons a nuance? I freaking hate the flags on such a level. I have voiced it, but Jason loves them so much it makes his heart happy. It's just part of the process. So we let a drone or a car take them out, and then we just relish the fact that we no longer have to shoot around them. Or at least
And to tell
that's
you
been my experience.
and tell you how much of a hindrance they are. One of them was taken out by Sam, and you know how low he likes to fly. So if Sam is taking them out, you know
Yeah.
it's a problem. You know it's a,
So
for the drone pilots at least.
one of them almost clotheslined us. So we were up by the exit, which sometimes is our entry. We're up there by the wall, and all of a sudden we just see this whole thing just coming at us, and it's like coming for our throats. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. This is not how I'm dying today. We are not doing Final Destination anything today. Let's see what else we got. How should I go about finding footage of my car? Unfortunately, I didn't get a number. So, Cam,
Oh,
if you know who the media people are, um, just send them a photo and ask, like, send them a photo of what your car currently looks like. That's usually what I ask anybody who asks me about footage if I don't know them and I don't know their car. And especially like if your car's changed from the last time somebody would have captured it. That's why a lot of times when I
can I jump in? Can I jump in? When you reach out to a media person and ask if they got your car, what really helps is a good picture of how your car looked that weekend.
yeah.
Because I've asked people to send me a picture. I was like, hey, okay. They'd be like, hey, did you get my car? And I go to their profile, and it's like a picture of like Phineas and Ferb and like another random picture, and that's all that's on their profile. So I'm like, okay, cool. Send me a picture of your car, and it's this nighttime picture with the headlights on, and I can't tell what color it is or anything. The
Yep.
best thing you can do for a media person is send them a really good picture of your car and like, this is what it looked like that weekend, not before you painted
Yep.
it blue, like with the pat, like like what it looked like that weekend. That helps a ton. Okay, so that's it. Good.
No, you're fine. What I was going to say is that's why a lot of times when I post that I'm going to be somewhere, I post, book me ahead of time. So media isn't always free. There are some events that we will do where we will show up because we know that maybe the event's going to be big. Most of the people that we usually work with are going to be there. It's an experience that we want, and we may not be paid to show up. Very often, media doesn't get paid, which is one of the reasons most media don't stay in the game, is because eventually they realize that they're either not going to get paid or they're not going to be able to make it a business, and then they walk away from it because there's just, to them, there's nothing in it. Like for DoryCon, I didn't go into DoryCon going, oh, I'm getting paid today. No, because DoryCon is so new, it needs the media coverage. And I'm happy to support that because I want to see it continue to grow year over year. Because I think if we don't take care of Shenandoah and we don't support it, it will disappear. If we didn't have a Jason running it, it wouldn't be there. Or if it was, it wouldn't be so focused on the drifting being something that brings money into it to keep it going. There are other events that happen there, we just don't see them. Um, so that's why a lot of times I'll say, hey, book me before we go. A lot of times I'll just do a flat rate for whatever the day is or the weekend is or whatever, because that means that anytime I see you, I'm going to grab you. I'm not grabbing the car that didn't pay me for the day. I'm grabbing you because you're one of like 4 or 5 drivers I have to grab for the day. Now, that could be grabbing from the ground. That could be putting cameras on the car. That could be sitting in your passenger seat. There are so many things that can be done, but it's always, always better to get in ahead than it is to ask on the back end. And that's what happens a lot. Like, and Vay's very, very talkative about that too, because it happens to him at Azra. He goes to the event. He'll have however many people that he has slotted that he knows he can handle for the day. And then 8 other people go, hey, do you have footage of my motorcycle? And he goes, I don't know. But he'll then go look for it, and he's going to toss out a price at you. And the average price is not what a lot of what the media people charge. The average price is, what is it? It's $10 per second. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
$10 per second of footage. So I could have 5 minutes of footage, and that would be an astronomical number. And there are people that charge that. A lot of people won't, because to me that gets a little sketchy depending on what I actually shot, because it doesn't mean everything I shot of you is going to be amazing. And I might track you for a whole line, but it does not mean my whole line of tracking you with footage is going to look good. That's why social media works in our favor, because you can break it up into 3-second, 5-second, 10-second, 30-second, whatever it is, to make it palatable, because some of it's not palatable. So if you want social media, that's different than if you want progress. So there's a lot more to it, but I don't know that people talk about it enough. And I think I don't know, it's like any like media or creative space. Like, nobody wants to talk about it because they feel like it's proprietary or they're giving up too much information. I don't give a fuck. So you ask whatever questions you want. How about for you, Kobe? Do you have anything else to add on that one?
Yeah, I've actually been playing with the idea next year of going to hit me up ahead of time, and then if you hit me up afterwards, it's just if I might have caught you, kind of deal.
Yep.
That will fair. Cut back on it's because honestly, I think some of my better work has come when I'm able to concentrate on 4 or 5 people at a time versus trying to catch everything that comes through and comes out.
Well, so that, you know what? Hold please. I took a screenshot. Stop it. I took a screenshot of how much media I had after DoryCon. And now I've deleted a few things along the way. But my folder contained 3,353 files. Now, that's video, and that's my camera is set up to where when I track with the video, I can actually press my shutter button and take a JPEG capture so that I can try to get photos, on the back, because I'm only one person. I don't have a media team. It's just me. So 402 gigabytes of information just from 2 days at DoryCon. So that's because I didn't have anything to focus on. I had to focus on everything that I could capture because I didn't know what I was going to use, didn't know what I was going to need. So it very much helps. Like if we go, okay, I have 5 drivers for today. I have 2 drivers for today. Well, if I have no drivers, we're going to fuck around and find out. That's how I end up in cars half the time. Is like, I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Okay, let me go back to these real quick. Jay says Capital had the boom lift. I am jealous, Jay, because I have not been in the boom lift. I'm apparently not a cool kid, and I haven't been in it. Actually, no, I lie. Was I in it once? I think I'm telling myself. I don't know.
What?
That's the ADHD at its finest. I don't think I've been in it, but I might have been.
You're about to launch out on a whole tirade. Like, see, I'm not special enough. I don't know why I can't do this, but hold up, maybe I did that.
I feel like we talked about it and it didn't happen, but then the other part of my brain goes, wait, maybe we did do it. I don't remember. I'm going to chalk that one up to ADHD, and just you guys just have to love me. Juliana says, Dawn, you never annoy anyone ever. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I do. I just don't annoy you. And I'm not sure what we're in or down for, but we're
I'm in.
people are in the comments signing up for something, and I'm not sure what they're signing up for.
That was a little while ago. Don't.
Let's see if Downey is there. Oh, my personal private day thing. Okay, that's what that
Right,
was.
right.
The private day. That's what they're talking about. Okay, it took me a minute.
So
All
something I
right.
see people talking about is the collabing between media people.
Okay,
That is
I'm
something that
scrolling.
I have definitely tried to work on in the past, like with
Hmm.
a photographer, a videographer, like somebody who, because I tried to do it all myself and it's impossible for one person to do all that stuff, like putting cameras on the car, cameras in the car, doing the drone stuff and everything. So like
Hmm.
getting a drone pilot combined with a videographer, on
Yep.
ground videographer who's in car on ground, the footage. I mean, basically what YouTubers have.
Yeah.
So they got their videographer that goes and follows them around and sets up the GoPros and has their
Yep.
handheld to get all that stuff. That is the dream to put it, because I don't feel like drone, and I think I've told you this. I don't think drone footage should be the primary footage. I
Yeah,
think
I get
drone
it.
footage works better when it's supplementary. So like you got bomb in car,
Yep.
on the ground, outside the car, and then occasionally the drone shot comes in. I think that's when drone shots are used the best. And I would
I
love
agree.
to be able to do something like that consistently with somebody, but then I'm flighty
Well,
and I'm not always everywhere.
I think the hard part with that is because I agree with you. And that's what I meant by, earlier. I'm like, it's just me. I would be happy to run a media team. The problem with trying to do something like that is everybody has to start out doing stuff for free because nobody's paying you right away because you all have to figure out how to work together. You all have to figure out who's responsible for what. So you have somebody who's responsible for this type of shooting, that type of shooting, in car, on car, passenger, whatever it is, or candid for that matter. I am horrible about B roll. Absolutely freaking horrible about B roll and candid stuff.
You got
It's
to be in my
just not good
B-roll
at
this
it.
week.
I know. I was so excited. And I was like, look at Kobe making me look good. Like that was I'll take it. But so everybody then has to do, it's kind of like when I did the model work and we call it TFP, time for printer, time for photos. Everybody has to give up their time to hope that you can all collectively bring the group around to be able to make money. And what happens is somebody doesn't pull their weight. Somebody doesn't show up consistently, or
Ooh,
somebody's
school
life changes. They
projects.
have a baby, or, they get married, or they have a new job. They're moving out of state. Like there's so many variables to it. I think you could probably do it per event. Like if you had some friends that were going to be there, you could do it per event.
Mm-hmm.
But trying to do it like long term, unless you have a really core group, and I mean, I think Brew would probably back me up on this too, because Brew used to do something very similar with Levi, but like their lives eventually didn't match anymore to the point where they could do it together any longer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Cam says, I got you guys. It was the gray 13 with the pink to purple stickers, but I definitely do. Thank you. Yeah. Again, love you. Don't know what any of that means other than the 13. Sorry, Cam. I'm actually pretty sure I know which car is yours, but that's what I mean. Like, it means something to you guys. It doesn't necessarily mean anything to me until I can see it. He said we lost CFRC in Florida in 2014, and we haven't ever been the same here. We cannot lose Shenandoah at all costs. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Shenandoah is one where it's such a grassroots that I think if we lost it, I think we'd lose some drivers too. I think there's some drivers that like Shenandoah so much that if Shenandoah were gone, they'd be a little meh about still doing the drifting, I think. Because yes, there are other places they can do it, but how far do they have to travel for it?
So if you're
Do they
if
have
you're
the
local to
budget for it?
Shenandoah, what's your closest track? Is it Summit?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So it would be Summit or Capital? I don't even know if Capital would be the next closest one. I think Summit would be the next, and Summit's like an hour from it. So it depends on which side of the mountain they're on.
Hour
So
45. Yeah, it's like an
Domi-
hour.
Dominion could potentially be the next closest one to them, depending on which side of the mountain they're on.
Right. Mm.
Because the mountain is the thing that seems to make the separation. Are you on the Virginia side or are you on the Maryland side? That's going to determine which one's the next closest one to you.
Okay.
We got Peter in here. Let's see, David Gates. When I was photographing, I'd have at least 2K files each event. Yeah, especially if you're shooting a high shutter speed because you're shooting fast stuff moving.
Mm.
Andy said Dawn is the least annoying person I've ever met. He said, in car is cool, but you two people want to see out of car. Yeah, that's fair. And I think that kind of goes back to what Kobe's talking about the drone stuff. You need a good blend of all the things. You need to have the candid conversation. You need to have the driver getting in and out. You need to have the driver on track from different perspectives. If YouTube is the goal, and I think that kind of goes back to, are you doing it for social media? Are you doing it for personal, or are you doing it for business? I think that's where the media balance comes in, is what do you do with the media, depending on whether you're on the media side or the driver side. That's why I said a lot of the people that come to me, it's really just for progress video. They just want to see what it looks like on the back end. And he says, I'm always end up with 80% in car. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And, like even doing the passenger at Doricon, I tried to make sure, like I was in Andy's car the most, but it was because I was shooting Cam and Devin separately.
Mm.
But Cam was how I got the footage of Andy. So I had to make sure I got something of Cam, because then I don't get anything of Cam that's like really worth it for Cam. I only
Mm.
get what's worth it for Andy, so I try to make sure whoever I'm working with, I can swap out somewhere. Like with River and Justin are, a great example of that. I might ride with Justin for, a couple of rounds, and then I might ride with River so that I have footage of both of them and it's not just one sided. But I think for Doricon, I only rode with Justin. I don't think I rode with River, but Justin died twice. Well, he didn't. His car did. I should clarify. So
Yeah, 'cause I don't think
they
I saw either one of them too much. I saw
so
that.
I you were there Saturday. I spent
Yeah.
more time with them on Friday than I did Saturday, because I think, River, did you break on Friday as well too? I know Justin did. So Justin had to replace control arm, I think. And then eventually his axle went, and then he ended up with a cracked radiator, and the list went on. He has one of those cars, and I don't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody the other day, because they were talking about, they had an oops in their car and they were upset about I do know who it was, but I'm not gonna call them out. um they had an oops in their car. They were kind of beating themselves up about it, and I'm like, hey, look, I said, it's a party car now. Don't care about what the car looks like. Care about if it's safe enough for you to learn in it. Shake off the fear, because that's why the thing happened. Um, and when you've reached a point where you've outgrown the party car, get the cool car, get the next thing. That's really what Justin's done. Justin's as good at driving as he is because of, I call it the Frankenstein IS. Um, I don't know how the doors open and close on that thing. I don't. And I ask him about it every time. I do. But everybody gives him such a hard time about what the car looks like. And, you have the experienced drivers who are like, oh, I won't ride with it. I won't run with anybody who doesn't have matching panels. That's fine. That's okay. I, that's fine. Doesn't mean that that other person that doesn't have matching panels isn't a great driver, but their view on it is that if you're not taking care of the car, then you're not going to take care of my car. So, and I understand the perspective, but it's like, then on the
Right.
flip side of that, you got to learn somehow. So you learn in the party car until you outgrow the party car, and then you go, okay, here's the next thing that I'm doing. Like when I talked to Justin, I think it was on Friday or Saturday. It sounds like for DoD, we're getting the new chassis. So the
Oh.
engine that's currently in that one is going into another one. Like everything's transferring over to a new chassis. Um, so, but he's ready for it. And
Mm.
I think that's the difference sometimes
and,
with the
and it
driving is.
shows because I have to admit, Justin and River are one of my
Mhm.
favorite duos to watch go at each other.
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
they get all up in there. They don't care, and I love
Well,
it.
but
It's
then
very entertaining.
they catch shit from other people for that too, because oh well, it's not bumper cars, and that's not how we do it. Again, yes, you're not wrong, but on the flip side of it, they also know how not to run into each other now, which means they're more likely not to run into somebody once they get into the better car. And there's always felt like this weird balance between both sides of the driving, between the grassroots and the more polished, I guess we could call it, or the more experienced, like where they want to move on to other things. I think there's a space for both of them, but there always just seems to be this weird back and forth with it. Let's see. Let's go to our comments here. What do we got? Short-term pain for long-term gains. Got to start somewhere. Bruce said, yeah, it's very difficult to keep organized and out shooting and editing together when you live an hour and a half away. Need to get better at cloud editing. That's fair. That's why I have the NAS storage, though. I have network storage to try to make that work a little bit better so that
Cloud
you have access
editing.
to it.
So does that sound like what
Yeah,
it is? What it sounds like?
yeah, so there are programs now that you can use the program in the cloud, if you will. You can use it online and handle your editing so that you can work
Hmm.
like in partnership. I have network storage so that if I really want to while I'm out and about, I have access to all of my files. I don't typically do that when I'm at the track. I usually put it on a hard drive, and then that way I can bounce that hard drive for the fast pace of the reaction with the computers. You put it on the laptop, I can put it on the computer. But there are softwares now that will allow the cloud editing. They were created specifically for that. Cam says, love and energy the place has made 14-hour plus drive worth every minute to include driving through Georgia.
Bruh,
Okay.
Florida, right?
Yeah,
Holy cow! Wait, what is that? Is that the S13? Is that who that was?
he's car 13. I don't remember what he
Car
said. The
13.
hang on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He said gray 13. Maybe he meant S13. I thought he meant number 13. Pink, purple stickers.
I never met Justin, but I love his crumpled up beer can of a car.
River said, I love having Dawn in the car because then I have an excuse to tell strangers no to getting in to avoid awkward silence in line. I love you, River. Oh, River said, my car didn't break. I just didn't wake up until 1 p.m. Saturday because I was hungry. Sir, we got
Bruh.
to party a little bit less.
Wow.
Kim, you're actually not the first person to call me Drift Mom. I think it was Wes. He's like, you're just like everybody's Drift Mama. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. That's fine. That's probably accurate.
Yes, S13. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Justin can't change cars. It's my favorite capital car. So fair. Never judge on the car. Looks judge on their driving. Yeah, so Kim, that's how it should be. And the problem is I think where it comes in sometimes when it comes to like the comps and stuff, um, and some of the bigger spaces that you get into and some of the bigger tracks, like it really is judged, even if it's not said out loud or things get said sometimes. It is what it is. You take it with a grain of salt. But again, I can see it from both sides of the fence. You get taken less serious if your car doesn't look like it's serious. We can use Andy as kind of a prime example. If Andy didn't have the livery on the car, we wouldn't know it was Andy. It would look like a cool car, drifting around the track. But having the car set up in a certain way for certain events, even, there are some events that you can't get into if you have mismatched panels, if you don't have a livery. That's why, like Ryan, both of his cars, because he has the coupe and he has the vert, that's why they look the same, is because that allows him access to the bigger events that he's very capable of driving in. But if he didn't put that level of effort in, he most likely wouldn't even be let into the event because they have a particular aesthetic that you have to have for the event. And that happens when you start kind of going up the ladder.
And then, like, going by what cars look like, so this weekend, I could think of, there are two cars off the top of my head. I'm sure there are other ones, but two off the top of my head that I know I caught. And actually, they reached out to me, and I had footage because of what their cars look like. So the
Okay.
pink Miata.
Oh yeah,
So
I love Noah.
he drove his ass off, but the
Yeah, he
pink
did.
Miata, because he had pink seats,
Uh
pink
huh.
steering wheel. The whole thing was pinked
Uh
out.
huh.
But it didn't look
Yep.
tacky, and he made a lot
No.
of smoke, and he drove his ass off. The other one was the Mountain Dew car.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know who that
It's
was.
a guy named Jeff, because
Okay.
he actually reached out. Actually, a friend of mine told me, he was like, "Hey, I know that guy. Make sure you get something to him." And then I was like, "Oh,"
Okay.
and then he actually ended up reaching out for something. But it was like so your car looking a certain way definitely does help you get more attention in terms of
Absolutely.
media.
Oh, absolutely.
But also, when you're in the same area all the time with the same media people, we know Justin and River, and
Exactly.
it doesn't matter what their car is going to look like. I was like, them dudes going out at the same time. I'm following them.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. And
goes both ways.
let's see. Me and Justin would be way worse drivers if our cars didn't look like they do. We just had to ruin two mint cars. Uh, and he said, unfortunately, the clapper is going away. So Justin is planning on doing the swap. He wants to do it before DOD. And then yeah, Andy just said, people didn't take me seriously until I got a livery. And that's extremely common. And from a media perspective, I've run into the same thing. If you're a really good driver with a bad car, I can still make your media look good. If you have a really pretty car, but you're a bad driver, or I don't want to say bad driver, maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe you're just not great at it yet, right? There's only so much I can do with it. Because
Yeah.
I can take a 2 or 3 second clip and make it look like something because your car's pretty. But if you spun out, halfway through every time you went into a certain turn, there's not much I can do with that because you could hear it too because I leave the
Mm-hmm.
car sounds in. So there are some things where I figured out how to turn the car sounds off because if you heard the car sounds, you would know what was coming next if you know what the cars sound like when they're supposed to be doing that thing. Um, Shack built. There are people with perfect looking cars. I will not tandem with them, and there are absolute shitters I will drive with. Sure, we talked about it at the track when some of the lines were going out on grid to keep grid moving really, really quickly. Some people would stop because they didn't want to go out with the people in front of them because they hadn't driven with them before. They might have seen something that they didn't like when they saw them earlier in the day. Maybe they saw them the day before. There wasn't any improvement. So they're like, hey, I'm not going to do that because that just seems like a poor decision. And that's okay. It's okay to make that choice for yourself. But I agree. The other drawback is if you go out and you run with the nice car and you accidentally bump into the nice car, you got to deal with the fact that you bumped into the nice car.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably a bigger part of it, is like, I don't want to be the person that jacked up the pretty ass vehicle.
Yeah. Let's see. Rob said, learning is awesome and there's always space or should be to start out and improve. A horror story my buddy had was he put every dime, even though it wasn't much, into a Sylvia and got totaled. Dude didn't even say sorry. Yeah, we've seen a couple of things like that happen. Maybe not with like, anything too high end, but where I remember, I think it was at Capitol when the night drifting started, they weren't paying attention. Whoever the person was running the cars wasn't paying attention. They let a car go when one wasn't finished and they collided. It
Oh man.
happens. Yeah, well, because you can only see so much,
Yeah.
and it's like it happens. And like that's why it's so important to be so mindful and have that person that's running your grid know what they're doing.
Cam, you are 100% correct. To be fair, it's drifting. We all know the risk. But that doesn't make
Yep.
it hurt any less.
Exactly.
That doesn't. I knew the risk, but that didn't make it hurt any less.
It was painful either way.
Yes.
Let's see, but you should be a solid person. If you do wreck someone's stuff, you should absolutely own it and apologize. We're all family. That's actually what I appreciate. I've seen a couple of things happen where accidents have happened, and the person who caused the accident has actually taken care of whatever the fix was. whether that was covering the cost of the part, whether that was doing the labor themselves, whatever it was to fix whatever happened, because they knew that they were at fault, regardless of whether it was their car broke, whether they just made a error in judgment, whatever.
Or at the very least, apologize profusely. Like, my
Yeah,
bad, man.
exactly.
I'm so sorry. So
Yeah.
sorry.
And well, and even
Yeah.
Andy said, I can't afford to replace most of the shit on my car, so I try to pick and choose who I drive with. Accidents happen, but I try to minimize the chances. Well, that's exactly it. Because you know the
Mhm.
risk. You know how much
Mhm.
it's going to cost you if certain things happen. So that's absolutely fair. Take them to Waffle House. Cam, I hope you come back again. I can see the Waffle House adventure now.
Oh
Oh my
man.
goodness. All right. Well, it is almost 10 o'clock and we could probably do this for like another hour because you guys are amazing. Do we have any more questions for Kobe while we have him?
Oh,
We
Cam, you
need
coming back for the
Cam.
DOD?
Yeah. Are you coming for Drifters of December at Summit Point? Let's see. Absolutely. I love you guys. It was an unreal time. Yeah, DoryCon was a
Okay,
lot of fun.
so Dawn, you know more people than I do, and I've interacted with this guy so many times, and I have no idea how to say his Instagram name or what his real name may actually be. He said, "I got a clean black car, but want livery to be more eye-catching." By Lavery?
I don't know how to say it either. This is a new person for me.
Yeah, well, your car has been very consistently black, and I appreciate that because I can always pick you out. But if you get livery, send me a picture so I know. Because I've gone through whole events with somebody who that was there that I knew, but they changed the color of their car, and I got nothing of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Nothing. Saw the car go by and was like, not this time," and then ended up not getting anything of them. So yeah, if you get
Oh,
livery, just go ahead and send some pictures to the media,
is
to your
that
favorite media
Bailey
people.
or Bali? Bali, the man is a driver. Bully.
B
Bali or Bully?
Bully,
Okay.
Belai, Believe, Belai.
Oh, Belai. There we go. Okay, you got it.
The man
Belai.
is the driver. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we got this. Teamwork. Perfect, Cam.
Friday, Saturday doors. Oh, the last event for that car.
So, low key is Timmy Schultz.
Yes, yes, my man. You got a car again? Send me a picture. If it doesn't have your
There's no more friction on the side.
friction,
Friction.
friction. That's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
friction.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Timmy because, well, there's a prime example. Timmy and was it Noah? I think Timmy
Yeah,
and Noah collided, and it wasn't anything that was intentional. It was just one made a choice to go one way, and one
I
made a
can't
choice
miss
to go the other.
that.
One made the choice to go the other way. I was actually shooting with my cell phone because I happened to be over there because I got driven over there in Bruce's car and somebody else hopped in. So I'm tracking something because I, don't have anything better to do with my time at the moment. And all of a sudden I hear whack, and I went, "Uh oh!" And I went this way. Oh, yeah,
Oh, oh, that's unfortunate.
yeah,
Ooh.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them, and I'm just like, they both look like they need a hug. Like I guess you just like register what happened. Yes, you French fried when you should have pizza. I feel like that should be backwards though, because I feel like you pizzaed when you should have French fried. Because when you pizza, like pizza to me is flat. So it's always said French fried when I should have pizzaed, but I feel like
See,
it should be the other way around.
but see, your argument becomes invalid for me because I'm from Chicago and our pizza is not flat. So that's gonna be a person by person thing there.
All right, a blue chassis swap, but we'll put the letters on it. Okay, all right. So at least we'll
All right.
we'll be able to figure it out. We'll be able to figure it out. Just we won't have a white car this time. We'll have a blue one apparently.
All right.
I mean, I can show up with some rattle cans, Timmy. You just tell me where to go. We'll just we'll spray it white. We'll get you caught back up. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let him go. I love you guys, and I thank you guys so much for joining us. It's actually been a lot of fun. And Kobe,
Thanks.
I appreciate you and your time, love.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Bye, guys.
Bye now.